Hello everyone, Dr. Catherine here from Holistic Wellness Clinic, coming at you with another video today. And today we're going to focus on kind of the upper body, a little bit of the core, but upper body. So we need the strength and mobility in our upper arms for just going through life. So think about having to be able to reach up and grab things. So important for longevity, just being able to do things later in life and having that mobility to even things like brush your hair, reach around your back, things like that. So we want to try and keep the body moving to help with all of that through the rest of our lives. So a couple of things that we're going to be going through. I'll show modifications. We'll try and keep it short and sweet, and we'll go from there. So today we're going to start with shoulders, and you can use weights or not. I'll show you without, and then I'll demonstrate with. So we're just going to start with some easy shoulder arm raises here. Just coming forward. We'll do about 5. Now, obviously, you can make this video go a lot longer. So if you want to add 10 reps into it, you can. Then we're going to go out to the side. And really trying to keep the shoulders down and feel some of those muscles right on the underside of those scapula. So you really want to squeeze down just as much as you're lifting up. And then we're going to bring that together. Forward and out. Forward and out. Now I'm going to grab my weights. They're very lightweight, so you don't have to use a lot of weight or heavy weight to build muscle or to, again, get a workout. So you can do all of this without. But if you are using weights, one of the things that I see a lot of people do is they squeeze the weights like a vice. We don't want to keep squeezing the weights. We want to have a nice kind of light touch with them and make the muscles of the shoulders and shoulder girdle be the one that's working. So we'll go for about 3 more. Again, keeping the core in, lifting the pelvic floor. So that's the other thing, is making sure that we're doing something so that we're really helping protect the body as a whole. So low back tends to take over when the core isn't ignited. So lower belly comes in and pelvic floor lifts. Now from here, we'll do what I call diamond shoulder lifts. So we're going to squeeze those elbows in and really squeeze them in, and then we'll just bring them up over the head like we're touching the fingertips together. So squeeze down and lift up, squeeze down, lift up. Getting both, as you lift up and squeezing down is important. Little bend in the knees, pelvic floor lifted, lower belly in, keep the chest lifted. And we'll go for 5. 4, I'm already feeling it in my shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to bring the arms out to the side. So if you do have a little bit of shoulder issues and you can't bring them all the way up to shoulder height, not above, at shoulder, then feel free to do this with the arms a little bit lower. All we're going to do is just go forward for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the scapula, squeeze the muscles between the shoulder blades, the rhomboids. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we're going to grab a strap and just kind of work out those shoulders a little bit. So what I like to do is have a strap where you're holding it kind of nice and taut, but not too close together. So you'll have to play around with where the hands are. And I'll just demonstrate from the side. So again, little bend in the knees, pelvic floor lifted, lower belly in, and we're just trying to reach the arms back as far as we can, getting into the chest, and then forward. Now, you can probably tell I have a lot more flexibility in my shoulders, so I could even go back, all the way back. If I let my hands continue to migrate out, I can come all the way back. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you're dealing with a shoulder injury, don't try to go back. Just find that range of motion that you're comfortable with to get the stretch in. It's not more is better. And then come back to center. And then we'll put that strap off to the side. The next thing I'm going to demonstrate is push-ups. Now, I'm very particular about my push-ups. I really don't like push-ups on the knees. And I'll explain why in just a moment. But first, upper body setup. So I want you to imagine that someone's throwing a ball at you. And if they are, where are you going to catch it? You're going to catch it right here at your chest. So we don't want the arms to be up here. So I was watching a PT who actually explained this very well. If you were to put your hands up here standing, this looks a little odd, right? So when we go down, that's where most people put their hands. I really want them to be here, as though you're catching something. And you're able to squeeze the muscles on the sides of the torso as well as the back muscles. Now from here, you're already set up to do a nice push-up. Secondly, when it comes to being on your knees, part of the reason I don't like it, and I'd rather you have an incline, use a couch. The side of a couch is actually perfect as long as the couch is nice and steady. Use a table. Anything like that is that you're actually able to use the body as a lever so we can get into the core. So you want to press into the toes, that will go up that center line, get right into the core, and then you can squeeze the quads and it's rigid. So if you're on your knees, you kind of take all of that out. So what I'll do is, again, catch that ball, bring myself down and come up onto my toes, and then again, how far you come down is completely up to your strength, but we're trying to build strength here. So as we come down, we want to come completely down and then press back up. Down and up. So maybe you're only able to do 2, and that's fine. Then you just work up to 3, work up to 4, and work up to 5. And we'll see if we can go for 10 today just to do it, but you don't have to. So we'll say this is 6, 7, 8. You see how rigid my body is? 9, nothing's moving around. And 10. And then come back up. Kind of shake them out. And then again, a little stretch. So what I like about using a strap is it makes it accessible for everyone. Now obviously I have the flexibility to bring my hands down and open up my chest. If that's just not working, use a strap. Again, you can go as wide as you need. Some people have pretty broad shoulders, and so naturally it's a little tougher for them. And then just hold on, and you have the option of bending the knees and bringing the chest forward as you reach the hands back, or even coming forward into a forward fold. Now again, it requires a little bit of flexibility. So coming forward isn't necessarily what you have to do. It's just something to add on if you would like. Now, with that said, I do want to demonstrate one push-up just on the floor if you're kind of working towards it, just so you know what to feel. So we'll come onto our toes, and again, you're squeezing the inner thighs, pressing the toes into the floor, and then shifting your weight. So again, the elbows or hands are right under the chest. Look forward, so try not to look back or straight down, but look slightly forward of your mat, not all the way up. And then we'll just come all the way down, and then big lever, press up. And then you can try and see how many to go for that. So now, next one, tricep dips. So these, I really like, again, using a little bit of height for it. It makes it so much more accessible. And for me, I tend to have a lot of elbow issues. It's easier on my elbows. So hands will come onto, whether you're using a chair or, again, some piece of furniture, you want it right on the edge. Bring the legs out, and then lift the chest and squeeze those elbows in towards the midline. From here, we'll just dip down to where we're about 90 degrees and then press up. Again, if you only go a little ways, that's fine. Press into the heels of the hands and lift. So we'll go for 5, squeeze on the way up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now to add on a little bit of heart rate, we could add a little kick. So come down, lift, down, and lift. You can even lengthen the leg. And again, it's just getting into the full body motion and getting the heart rate up a little bit. So we'll go one more on each side. Continue to squeeze those triceps as we come up, and then come up. From here, nice little tricep stretch. So again, if it's accessible to raise your shoulder, bring it over and try and squeeze the shoulder down. What I see a lot of people do is they lift the shoulder up in order to let the hand come down. Squeeze the shoulder down and press it. Just a few breaths. And then we'll go to the other side. Good. Last one that we're going to do here, mountain climbers. I know a lot of people get really scared when they hear mountain climbers, but this is a great modification, and I think it's accessible for most people. So we'll come down into that same kind of pose that we used for the push-up, and all we'll do is just bring one knee in and then the other. One and the other. So try and really squeeze the knee up into the chest as much as you can so that we're getting the abdominals to work. And if you want to add on, you can even try taking the knee a little bit to the outside towards the armpit, like you're trying to bring the knee to the tricep. So again, we're just getting the heart rate up a little bit. You can always start to go a little faster, get a little jog going, or even faster. But again, really focusing on where your placement is. And again, I'll demonstrate just if you want to come down, like maybe you've been doing those and you're like, I feel pretty good with that. I think I can go a little further. You can always come down onto the floor to do it. And this is where you're really going to get the heart rate up. So you're pressing down to lift up. Feels like you're pressing into the floor to lift away. And then one at a time. Again, you can go nice and slow or start to rev it up. And try for 10 seconds to begin with. Just see what happens with 10 seconds. And then go from there. I prefer to go with seconds than the count. But you can always start with 10 seconds or maybe just 10, 5 on each side. Maybe work your way up to 20. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you really enjoyed this. The warm-up that we did on the first video, you can actually use as a cool down as well. So hope to see you next time.